to my YouTube channel. So, my YouTube channel focuses on mental health and how we can make it better to live a happy and full life while struggling with mental health issues. I think that's a good thing. I struggle from mental health, so yes, I say it over and over again. I suffer from a severe anxiety disorder. I think it's also linked in with PTSD. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. So, what does it say out here? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. It says guard my privacy. We are here with my animals. Where's my animal? Moo. And then I also have Bear and Hero. My animals like to crowd around me all the time. And I think animals are great for mental health. They are great supports, and like you can have a support animal or you can just have like a normal animal. We have lots of normal animals in this house. I have uh, 4 cats and 2 dogs, and they're all great for support. I suffer from anxiety. My daughter suffers from anxiety. I think everybody has some sort of fucked up mental thing going on. Sometimes we just don't know it. That's how I had a couple breakdowns in my life because I didn't know what anxiety was. Um, and yeah, I didn't know what anxiety was. And so that's why I had a couple breakdowns in my life because I didn't know how to manage it. And I basically just fed it. Because, like, the more we feed our anxiety, the more we, I guess, get sucked into our intrusive thoughts and our ruminating mind that just wants to think about destructive things and destructive things. Sorry, I'm getting messages on my phone, so I'm like, I'm gonna read that too. It focuses on destructive things, and so you just have to find different ways to get away from it. I believe that's what I was talking about. Still alive. That was a little blacked out. Yes, I am still alive. So I think a good way to get away from our intrusive thoughts. Hi, and hello, and the way we just stay inside of our minds is, for one thing, get out of the house. Hello, go for walks, nature. A lot of people like counseling and CB. I think it's called CB. It's therapy, but I'm sorry to hear that, Charles. Hi, Virginia, but I feel that like that's something that you have to go to. I'm talking about mental health, Jack. After you've already like conquered or find out what's going on with you. A lot of people don't know what's going on with them, and they think they're just either depressed or going crazy, or they just don't know what it is and what's going wrong with them. Because sometimes it can be just what the sigma. Sometimes it can just be like your hormones overloading, like having too much hormones. I get through that. Like, I don't get my period anymore, but when I did have my period, my anxiety would get 10 times worse. Hi, Moo Moo. When I had my period. So, like, there's so many different things. And, like, trauma can trigger intrusive thoughts, it can trigger anxiety. So, I think there's a huge link between anxiety and PTSD. I'm starting to think that for myself because my anxiety always is surrounded around the same intrusive thoughts every single time. It's never different. So I feel that when my anxiety is high, I get these intrusive thoughts back, and it's always from the past, which is PTSD. I think that meditation is all I do. Stay in the house. I rarely take showers. It's weird. I'm almost giving up on. See, Charles, you can't do that. Oh, thank you very much, Virginia. You can't do that. So what I've learned is that I have really bad nightmares. And so when I wake up in the morning, I am extremely anxious. And when you are extremely anxious, you can numb your feelings. So like you won't feel like you can feel love, joy, anything. You don't feel like you're interested in anything. And that's not necessarily that depression, it can be part of anxiety. So what you want to do is you want to get up, you want to go have that shower, you want to wash all those bad feelings away, and you just want to push through it. If you can push through it and go on with your day, that's when things are going to start to get brighter. This is what I do every day. I wash the bad feelings away and I just get up and I go on with my day. Doesn't matter how hard it is. If you can accomplish something that day in those moments when you're feeling like that, that's when you're achieving goodness. That's when you're winning. You're not letting your mental issues take over your life. Like, I've lived with anxiety since I was 17 years old. There's been many times that I've let it take over my life and just really grab me. And for the last 10 years now, I've learned. And I've learned so much about it, and I've researched so much about it that I think the more research, the more knowledge that we have about what we're dealing with, it's like a superpower. And that you, hey, get off my bed. Cat's scratching my bed. Thank you very much, Charles. Hey, Hero, do not scratch my bed, you little craphead. He likes to scratch my bed. Yeah, so the more knowledge you have on what you're dealing with is a superpower. Like, when I started learning about what anxiety is, what intrusive thoughts are, where intrusive thoughts come from, why they bring your loved ones in. Yes, that too. Definitely change your diet. Diet can help. Diet can hinder you. But I do find that, like, intrusive thoughts can bring your family and your loved ones into those thoughts and mesh everything up. So then it just makes you feel even more insecure, even more crazy, or like a bad person. And that's just what intrusive thoughts do. And that's just what anxiety is. And that's what depression is. So you have to not listen to those things. You have to not listen to everything that goes through your mind, because we have hundreds of thousands of thoughts per day. Oh, well, thank you, Jack. We have so many thoughts per day, and we can't attach ourselves to all of them. But what happens when you have a mental disorder? Hi, Virginia. What happens when you have a mental disorder is that our brains are a little different. So they're like more of a sponge than normal people's brains. I think we're normal, but, like, you know what I mean? Somebody that doesn't have a mental disorder. So we're a little bit more spongy than them. And we attach ourselves to thoughts, especially when you're anxious. When you're anxious, your mind attaches to not the greatest thoughts. And it, like, snowballs until you're thinking negative thought after negative thought after negative thought after negative thought. And then everything seems like it's not going to get better, or that you're just stuck in this negative whirlwind. And the only way out of that, I tell you, is knowing what's going on. And so when I had my first anxiety attack, I didn't know what it was, and I let it take me over, and I let the intrusive thoughts take me over, and I didn't leave the house for, I'd say, 3 to 4 months. I was so scared of what was going on in my mind. I was so scared what I was thinking that I didn't want to be around anybody. I was scared to be in my own body, scared to be in my own mind. And I think if I just knew that was anxiety, and those and intrusive thoughts come from anxiety, I think I never would have broke down like that. They're things that they don't teach us in school. They're tools that we're not, things aren't given to us. Yes, King. Yes, King Toxic. We have to. So right now, so King says, I feel we shouldn't cowered from our negative thoughts and emotions, embrace them and take them face on. And that's a very scary thing to think about. Oh, I'm going to face this. I'm not going to cower from it. I'm not going to hide from it. I'm not going to hide from the world. I'm not going to hide from people. I am who I am. This is what's going on. So, for one thing, you need to know millions of people. It is very easier said than done. I was just going to get to that. Very easier said than done. But everybody in the world has bad thoughts. Everybody in the world has some sort of mental issue going on. It's not just you, and you need to know that. It's not just you, because you feel like when it's happening, you're in a corner and you're the only one that can figure it out, which is true because it's in your brain, right? It's not in anybody else's brain, so you need to figure it out for yourself. But there's help out there. Like, I had to learn the hard way what anxiety was, and at some point in time in my life years ago, I went manic, I feel crazy, and I had to check myself into a facility, and I stayed there for a month. But I'm sharing that with people now, and I'm also going to share with you, when you go into somewhere like that, like I did, I thought I was going to tell them something that they were like, oh, you're crazy and we need to lock you up. No. They said, you're completely normal and your mind is over anxious right now, and you're having these bad thoughts that are caused by an anxious mind. And that normal people, guess what? That's good, Charles, because sometimes you have to, right? Because it's a safe spot. And I get that, because that's how I felt. It was a safe spot, and you need to be somewhere safe. So the doctor told me straight up, and this is what's kept with me my whole entire life since I've been there. The doctor told me, what makes you normal is that you are scared of these thoughts. These bad thoughts that you're having, you're scared of them. They scare you to your core. They scare you so much that you came here and you didn't want to have those thoughts anymore. And I said, well, how does that make me normal? Because who has these thoughts? Why would somebody have these thoughts? And they said that they linked it with anxiety and my brain being over anxious and not knowing what it was and all that kind of stuff. But they also said crazy people, psychopaths, they have these thoughts and they're just normal to them. They are not scared of the thoughts. They act on those thoughts. And people that are just a normal, loving human being don't. We get scared of them. They make us so fearful that we don't want to be in our own body. And that makes us normal. I don't have friends either, Charles. I get you. That's why I come on here. Honestly, is I like the connection with people. I like to be able to try to help people and talk through their things. But let's get back to the facing things head on. So right now, I'm gonna go over a situation that I'm in right now where I have to face things head on. So hi Virginia. So for the last 2.5 years, I've owned a restaurant and my life has been very busy, like 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, busy. So I literally go home to eat and sleep, and that's it. And I don't even cook food at home. I literally cook it at the restaurant, and I come home, eat and sleep, and then just repeat. So my life has been so busy. And I know with my anxiety and the disorder that I have and the way it is in my body is that when things get quiet and suddenly quiet, my anxiety heightens. So things and the intrusive thoughts come, and the intrusive thoughts from way back in the day, so not new ones, the same intrusive thoughts. So all that PTSD comes up, and it's very hard for me to just be at home and be quiet. It's hard for me not to have a routine. But also, I don't want to just keep rushing through life where I have to keep going. I did own a restaurant, yes. I have to keep going or it doesn't shut up. So I decided I'm going to live with it. I'm not going to rush into another job. I'm not going to rush into getting myself busy again. I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to do my journaling. and write down my feelings and my thoughts, because that gets it out of my head and it helps me understand what's going on. When I journal, it's a way for me to release that from my brain. Especially since we don't want to share all of those thoughts that we don't like with other people, right? So it releases it from my brain. I don't go back and read it ever. I literally just write everything down that's going on with me, and I also write things down, like things that I know. So this is what I know about myself, and things that I know about my anxiety. And I put all these things down so I can understand it. And I go, yeah, that's why. That's why I'm feeling like this. And it's going to get better. And it always does. So sitting with the anxiousness of the quiet and not having something to constantly busy myself with has been very hard. So it's been about 3 weeks now. And yeah, I feel emotionally numb because my anxiety is so bad all day long. So that's definitely something that I am going through right now. And you can get through it. I'm still going through it, but I have tried to sit with this many times, and I've succeeded in just different times. Like, not right now in my life, but different times I've tried to just sit with my feelings and push through them, and it worked, right? Like, it's not going to work all the time. Like, sometimes you're going to be anxious and you're going to have to deal with the anxiousness, right? And that's just something somebody with a mental health disorder has to learn to adjust not to adjust their life around, but you just got to learn that this is who you are. It's not who owns you. It's not who runs you, but this is who you are. And there's some concessions that you need to learn to use and make to better suit your life, so that you don't have to live with anxiety all the time. It's a part of you, but it's not who you are. And that's how I feel about myself. Anxiety is a part of me, but I'm on YouTube. But it's not who I am. So anyways, that's what I wanted to share today. If you like this video, please subscribe. Yeah, I do live meditation. I want to do live yoga, but I'm not there yet. But I do live meditation twice a day. So join us for that too, or me for that. And it was nice meeting you guys. And I will come back soon. Thank you.